but I haven't spoken directly because I don't know what to say.
In today's video, we are going to be talking about the real Ellen DeGeneres and what she is like in real life. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We are giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. The entire world knows her as the iconic, friendly, warm, and charitable comic and talk show host. Be kind being the go-to catchphrase associated with her. However, as we all know, very often celebrities are not at all how they seem on screen. Perhaps it's not even fair to expect them to be exactly what they portray on screen. What do you guys think? Ellen's breakthrough came in 1997 when she became the first openly lesbian woman to lead her own sitcom, opposite Laura Dern. We have the famous Time magazine cover with Ellen proclaiming, "Yep, I'm gay," on it. As her career advanced, Ellen proceeded to take over Oprah Winfrey's mantle as the reigning queen of celebrity talk show, with her The Ellen DeGeneres Show. However, how much of the screen Ellen is the real Ellen? There has been a lot of conversation about how a comedian is in real life. Most of them are not the nicest folks off screen. As for Ellen, in a 2018 New York Times article, she reveals that she feels boxed in by her trademark nice and kind personality. She indicates that over the years, to build her brand of a sunny comic, she has had to hide edgier and darker sides of her personality. Her wife, Portia de Rossi, says, "She's just a bit more complicated than she appears." Her 2018 special spoof, Relatable, was an effort on Ellen's part to break out of her cookie-cutter mold of an image and break a long stint of clean comedy. Fellow comic Tig Notaro calls it a decades-long payoff. According to her, Relatable, true to its name, shows that Ellen is a real person with a foul mouth. In sharp contrast to her image as everybody's friend who is always interested and compassionate, Ellen is a very different person on Relatable. She is tongue-in-cheek, aloof, and self-aware of her privilege. She cracks several jokes about her fabulous wealth. Forbes said that she earned $87.5 million in 2018, making her the 15th highest paid celebrity in the world. In one segment, she's clueless about how far airplane seats go back beyond the first few rows. Now, this is risky business for a person who rose to fame for her niceness. According to Notaro, who co-directed one particular special on Relatable with Joel Gallen, her jokes are strongly rooted in honesty. A lot of her regular audience has unrealistic expectations from Ellen, Notaro says. There are fans who think she cannot have a bad day and must always be uplifting and positive. Obviously, that is not the case. Ellen says that to try and break out of this mold is one main reason why she's back in stand-up comedy with Relatable. On the talk show, she is the host, but she is also playing a character. There is bound to be a slight difference between Ellen the person and Ellen the host. There has, however, been several disturbing stories about Ellen being outright mean in real life. When questioned about this by the New York Times writer, Ellen refuted these stories as outright lies. She says, "The first day I said, the one thing I want is everyone here to be happy and proud of where they work. And if not, they don't work here. No one is going to raise their voice or not be grateful. That's the rule to this day." Now, this is sort of alarming seeing that this rule might have a sinister side. Asking an unhappy employee to leave instead of fixing whatever is wrong with the work culture itself is clearly not the most accommodating behavior. Being in denial solves nothing and can even be read as a subtle form of perpetuating toxicity by refusing to acknowledge it. To demand gratefulness from unhappy or stressed employees seems like privileged and even entitled behavior. Ellen's remarks seem to align with reports of employees saying that they were subjected to insensitivity within the Ellen DeGeneres Show office. While most of them blamed their direct managers for whatever they went through, Ellen's comments seem to indicate her blindness towards a possibly toxic work culture within her show as well. Several people do blame her for the negative treatment within her company. According to them, if her name is on it, she should take responsibility, instead of dismissing them as outright lies. Ellen's expose came fully into public light with a BuzzFeed article earlier this year. BuzzFeed interviewed 10 former employees and 1 current employee. All of them requested their names be kept secret in fear of retaliation by Ellen or her fans within the industry. The work culture in the office is apparently dominated by fear. If anybody has an issue, it is highly discouraged they bring it up. Recalling Ellen's comments, anyone who refuses to show extreme gratefulness for being a part of the team gets immediately kicked out. Employees have reported that people who have been with the show seemingly forever are fired without any notice if they're suspected to be dissatisfied or unpleasant in any way. One particular former employee talks about her experience working in Ellen's company. She had to start a GoFundMe to cover medical expenses not covered by the workplace medical insurance. The executive summoned her the very next day and admonished her for doing such a thing, as it might tarnish Ellen's image. They were clearly more worried about damaging Ellen's reputation than in actually helping her out. Apparently, there's a clear division between employees who are willing to put up with excessively long work hours and toxic behavior without complaint, according to employees who have spoken up against the same. Although some producers have defended such behavior as how it is in the industry, according to another former employee, there's always a collective feeling within the workplace that this is not exactly normal. They are constantly told that it is Ellen's show, the best place they could be. Ellen's reputation and the show's popularity makes it all the more difficult to quit the job. Additionally, even if they do leave, their version of events might not be believed, and they might be perceived as being overly sensitive. Since there's always a surplus of people wanting a job on the show, the managers fire existing employees easily. There is always somebody to replace them with. In one appalling instance, a former employee claimed that her manager would wait for her to go to the washroom and then text her to ask her where she was and why she was not at her desk. This culture of bullying and pressuring has been corroborated by several other accounts. Another employee says that she was unexpectedly fired after a particularly difficult work year where she had asked for 3 leaves. A medical leave for 3 weeks after she had been in a car accident, working remotely for 2 days to attend a family member's funeral, and finally, 3 days off to travel for another family member's funeral. According to her, each leave was earned after a battle with the HR, and she was fired soon after. A lot of the producers are vocal in public about mental health issues, but clearly do not practice what they preach. According to insider reports, the show's real hidden mantra is not be kind, but not to your employees. One particularly shocking instance was when one former employee took a month off to check herself into a mental facility after a suicide attempt. Within a week of returning to the job, she was informed that her position was being eliminated. Her story has been corroborated by 4 other employees and her medical records. Aside from day-to-day toxicity by her show managers, Ellen herself has been accused of unprofessional and mean behavior at the office. These stories came into light primarily after comedian Kevin T. Porter opened up a Twitter thread where he encouraged people to submit stories about when Ellen had been unnecessarily mean to them, in exchange for $2 donations to the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. Porter basically crowdsourced insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean. According to him, she's notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Porter's viral Twitter thread stirred up some insane drama online. While not all the stories are verifiable, does the sheer volume have something to say? Tell us what you think in the comments. According to Benjamin Simon, Ellen has a sensitive nose. Anybody coming into her office has to first chew gum from a bowl kept there. If she thinks you smell, you need to go home and take a shower. Simon had more to say. Ellen picks one person in her office to be mean to every single day. A new staff member was informed that Ellen would pick someone to be mean to every day. It had nothing to do with the individual, and they were encouraged to suck it up for the day. On the same Twitter thread, one former DeGeneres fan has come out with a really disturbing story of being treated with sheer insensitivity on Ellen's show back when she was just 15. Danielle Acevedo had participated in a contest of fans making Ellen's busts and sending them to her. She had obviously worked very hard on her replica of Ellen. A few weeks later, she saw it just being given away to a random guest, with 5 $100 bills taped to the bottom. Acevedo attached pictorial evidence of her both making the bust and it being given away on the show, bills taped to the bottom. Chris Farah, a comedian and actress, remembers bearing the brunt of Ellen's alleged meanness, back when she was a server at a restaurant Ellen and her wife Portia frequented. Farah also tweeted the link to her stand-up set where she talks about this episode. Ellen had complained about her chipped nail polish. Yes, you heard that right, chipped nail polish on Farah's nails. She was nearly fired over the issue. Farah says, "I was just so surprised she'd take time out of her day to be negative to someone who served her, who was obviously on a lower position than her, and also probably some kind of artist. It was just petty and cruel and short-sighted on her part, and for what? To put out negative and harmful energy to others is toxic." Anyway, that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.